What's up, guys? Welcome to Season 5, Episode 9, working 9 to 5 of the Monday Night Wars.
Wait,
I'm
whoa,
Chad
whoa,
Thompson.
what was that? What was that? What?
That was me singing a tune.
We didn't. I didn't pay you for that.
You get that one for free.
Whoa, my! You're not gonna be fuck me over on taxes, right? You're not gonna.
No,
Oh,
no,
thank
that one's
you.
all that one you get for free.
Oh man, but I got to pay for more. Is that what you're getting at?
Well,
This is episode 9, WWE versus WCW, the old Monday Night Wars, which it's come a long way. We're about 6 years in. We're in '03 now, not 1997. Sami Zayn just pinned Shinsuke Nakamura in the gauntlet match, and we're here. Ooh, what do I got that text? Oh, yeah, I know it's going to snow tomorrow, fuckface. Sorry, pardon my language. I got a text that said, oh, your flight could be delayed, blah, 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 blah. Unforgiven and Fall Brawl is this episode, Chad. Are you excited for either show? You're on mute, or does Discord dropped? Yeah, you dropped.
I'm back.
What the hell happened?
I have literally no idea. I haven't touched a single thing. I was talking to you. Oh, yeah, I'm excited for both pay-per-views.
That's awesome.
For Fall Brawl. Sometimes we just have really techie days, like funky days.
Yeah, sometimes. We'll see. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen again. If it does, just
Just rejoin the call.
just rejoin the call. It's Unforgiven, Chad. This was a new pay-per-view, as it was formerly known as Bad Blood. Bad Blood, Chad. What do you tell me about Bad Blood?
I know Taylor will say she has it.
Who's Taylor?
That's a Taylor Swift joke for the listeners.
We're in 2003. I don't think she's born yet, brother.
Oh, that was me breaking the fourth wall.
Yes.
Talking to the audience.
1999 Bad Blood. Eddie Guerrero defeated Owen Hart to retain the WWF Championship, and Booker T defeated Bitch Bigelow, a steal over Jushin Liger, and The Rock over Stasiak. 2000, Paul White defeated Triple H to retain the WWF Championship, and The Rock defeated Kane to retain his WWF World Heavyweight Championship. Two big guys that are not here anymore. What a shame. Keishi defeated Joey Matthews. Wow, this is all just your show right here. What the hell? Bad Blood 2000 held in Hartford, Connecticut. Scott Steiner defeating Psychosis to retain. What is going on here? All these WCW guys. Oh, Clyde Flanders. What the hell? What's he doing?
Clyde Flanders.
Dude, Clyde Flanders, man. What a guy. I wish he never signed with you. No disrespect, but man, I wish I still had him. What a guy, Clyde Flanders. And then last year, Bad Blood in the Peterson Event Center. Misawa defended his WWF Championship over Jeff Jarrett. We also saw Latin Lover and Chavo Guerrero. The final bosses defeating Harlem Heat. Wow. Harlem Heat.
Wow.
Shannon Moore with Super Callow, Rhino over the Bloodline, John Cena over Renee Dupree, and Lita won the Women's World WWE Championship in a match over Tori Wilson. Remember, Lita and Tori Wilson were the co-winners of the Women's Invitational. Chad, it's WWE Unforgiven live in Indianapolis, Indiana, at the Conseco Event Center or Fieldhouse. Don't remember which name is. You see the big 8 matches here tonight, including matches like Kurt Angle and Triple H going 2-on-2 tag team action against C.W. Anderson and Dean Malenko. We see Tajiri, Carly Colon, and Edward Colon, the light heavyweight championship on the line. The Colones have been a thorn in Tajiri's side the last few weeks. They even kidnapped the light heavyweight championship and took it to Puerto Rico. And we get the finale of the Summer Sizzler. Finally, BG James is healthy enough to wrestle. He has the opportunity to take the United States Championship away from Stevie Richards. But this whole night is headlined tonight by a match between two friends. It's Misawa and Hashimoto, the WWE Championship on the line. And we do know that this will be the final match in Misawa's legendary WW career, Chad. He goes out going one-on-one with a man he respects, a man that he loves, and a man he has tagged with and teamed with for his last 18 to 20 months. Shinya Hashimoto, the WWE Championship on the line in our main event tonight, Chad. But let's get into the pay-per-view. We got a lot to get over with, so let's just start. I think I clicked it. Here we go. We start on the pre-show. The Patriarchy. JBL and the Jablowski twins of Chat and Dean take on Frankie Kazarian and Supernova, and who's got to go over. It's the Patriarchy. They get the win in 10-11 when JBL pins Frankie Kazarian with the power bomb. Chad, what's your favorite power bomb of all time?
What's my favorite power bomb of all time? Probably the Batista bomb.
That's a good one. Mine is the Batista bomb as well. That's a good one. That's a good one. We move on, and our other opening match on the pre-show, Lance Storm defeats DDP in 15-24 with the Canadian Maple Leaf. Lance Storm's been on kind of a roll as of late on TV, getting wins over guys like D'Lo Brown and Drago, getting a big win over DDP in the pre-show tonight, getting 81 in the ring as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's on a roll.
He's on a roll, but we start off tonight, Chad. We talked about those two big matches. We're here with the opening promo. Unforgiven 2003. I moved it to Cincinnati, Ohio, not Indianapolis. My apologies. Forgive me. There is a bull riding event / Monster Jam dual meet in Indianapolis at the Conseco Fieldhouse, and we had to move last second. This was a last second move to the Fifth Third Arena. Shout out everyone in Cincinnati, Ohio, for welcoming us in. But now, Chad, are you excited for Unforgiven?
Oh yeah, can't wait. I'm excited to see the Misawa's last match.
Chad, we start off with the French Canadian national anthem. Sylvain Grenier and Rob Conway are coming down to the ring. They're in tag team action, Chad, and you know I love these guys. You know I love Sylvain Grenier and Robert Conway. They're taking on the Thunder Dragons men, a team consisting of Bryan Danielson and Jushin Thunder Liger, a team that was formed in Bryan Danielson's couple-month excursion to New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he spent a few months wrestling and training in the dojo. Him and Jushin kind of gelled together and formed this team. They came over, and then a couple weeks ago on TV, Grenier lost to Bryan Danielson in a singles match, just a random singles match. That kind of pissed off Sylvain Grenier and Robert Conway, losing a match in general. So when Rob Conway took on Jushin Thunder Liger the next week, Grenier distracted Jushin Thunder Liger, helping Robert Conway beat the international legend in one-on-one action, and that has led to this matchup. There's a lack of respect, Bryan Danielson said, of, I am teaming with one of the greatest, like I said earlier, one of the greatest international superstars of all time, and you guys are fake. You guys have two nationalities. You guys can't even have one. You're not French. You can't be French and Canadian. Just pick one, Bryan Danielson said. We're going to slap some respect into your mouth tonight. It's the Thunder Dragons. It's La Resistance. Sylvain Grenier and Robert Conway. Tag team action to start the show. Chad, who do you got?
I have the Thunder Dragons.
Chad, we'll start off hot in 1-for-1 as the Thunder Dragons defeat La Resistance number 2 when Bryan Danielson pins Robert Conway with a cattle mutilation. A big win for Danielson, a big win for Jushin Liger as they both get 89s in the middle of the ring. Backstage, Eric Bischoff is doing a Sudoku puzzle and watching the pay-per-view, and Jerry Lawler says he's excited to win the championship tonight, Chad. He's excited to win the match. And Eric Bischoff asked him, what the hell are you talking about? You're not in a championship match. Hell, you're not even on the card. And he said, yeah, I signed the contract. And Jerry Lawler brings out the contract that Misawa and Hashimoto signed last Friday night on SmackDown. And Eric Bischoff looks at him and says, you're not either one of these guys. What are you talking about, Jerry? And Jerry's like, yeah, I'm in the world title match. He's like, Jerry, last time, you're not even in the match. Wait a minute. You're in a match tonight, Jerry Lawler. You're in a match tonight. Yeah. Yeah, if you win this match, you can get a world title shot. Yeah. Yeah. And Eric Bischoff's got a plan for Jerry Lawler Jr. tonight. We move on. Carly Colon and Edward Colon. We kind of a little went over it a few 10 minutes ago, probably at this rate. The Colones, the princes of Puerto Rico, Edward Colon and Carly Colon, two former members of a reality show. They have moved that reality show, NXT, into a Puerto Rican influence company. Now they are really they're on Instagram, they're on Twitter, they're really making headwaves in Puerto Rico as a big key influence for the WWE, as kids are just looking up to the Colones. And Edward Colon has been trying to sell Puerto Rico to young Tajiri the last few weeks, and even showed him on after a match. Tajiri defeated. Let me go back and look. Who did he look? Oh, he beat Frankie Kazarian. He said, "Look at the Titantron. Look how beautiful Puerto Rico is." And on the screen, Carly Colon's in the beautiful beaches, white sand, blue water, yellow sun shining down, and Carly Colon is holding Tajiri's light heavyweight championship. And Tajiri is kind of confused. He's flabbergasted. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. But all he knows is that he wants to fight both of these guys. They have made a mockery of Tajiri's light heavyweight championship. And Tajiri says he'll beat both of them and send them back to Puerto Rico packing. It is a triple threat match, Chad. Tajiri, Carly Colon, Edward Colon, EC3 is what they're calling him. Light heavyweight championship on the line. Who do you got? Tajiri. Now, let me ask you this, Chad. Why?
Yeah. I just feel like it's a triple threat in there. I don't really think either one of the Colones will win this belt, and I just think Tajiri's gonna win it.
Chad, your reasoning behind it was right, but in the wrong ways. As Carly Colon uses the numbers game to help his brother Edward Colon III win the championship, pinning Tajiri, Carly Colon jumped on EC3 at the same time, so they double stacked him. Double stacked Tajiri. Edward Colon was the first one pinned, and that is why the referee has awarded the championship belt to EC3. A big win for Carly Colon, and I guess not really Carly Colon, but Edward Colon, your new light heavyweight champion, Chad.
What a good brother, Carly Colon.
What a good brother, Chad. What a good brother. Let's move on to the next segment. And they run to the jet, Chad. They know they just stole one from Tajiri, and they're going back to Puerto Rico to celebrate. And we have a live shot of the crowd in Puerto Rico, and they're losing their mind. But up next, Chad, Jerry Lawler's on the way to the ring. Look, people are stoked. They're really excited for Jerry Lawler Jr. to get in the ring tonight. Who's he going to face? As Eric Bischoff has announced, if Jerry Lawler can win this match, he'll get a world title shot. Oh, wow. Sammy,
right, is he going to be the third guy?
Sorry, Sami Zayn just beat Chad Gable, I think.
Oh, wow.
It's on mute, so I don't know what just happened. Sorry, spoilers. Did he win? Did he pin him? Did the referee fucked up? No one knows. It's a bunch of confusion in the ring. Yeah, no one knows. It's on mute. It looks like Sami Zayn just won. He is going to WrestleMania to fight Gunther. Pardon me. So if he wins tonight, I can turn this off, I think, now, finally. Jerry Lawler, if he can win this match, we'll get a world title shot. Who's he taking on, Chad? Oh, Chad. You don't know? Make a guess.
Make a guess.
Yeah, make a guess.
I'm gonna say he's gonna face Rhino.
Yeah, you're right. The Raw superstar Rhino is in this SmackDown match. He's taking on the big ugly bastard, Gene Snitsky, Chad. Gene Snitsky, he's on a roll. 9 straight televised wins for Gene Snitsky, and he's taking on Jerry Lawler Jr. tonight in this matchup next. Sami Zayn is and he hugs Chad Gable, who's about to cry in the middle of the ring. What a baby back bitch. This would be the second dude crying in the ring on Monday Night Raw tonight. Don't need it. But Gene Snitsky fucking dog walks Jerry Lawler Jr. tonight, Chad. Dog walks him in 421 with the egoist Schwein. A big win for Gene Snitsky. Dude, Gene Snitsky, people are scared of Gene Snitsky. He is a menace. Monday Night Raw is over. We can close it. That is crazy. Chad.
Is Sami Zayn then?
It is Gunther, Sami Zayn. They just showed the match card for it.
Nice.
Are you sad by that?
No, I think that's going to be good.
Is that who you wanted to win? Chad, you tried to spoil. You didn't try. You asked me, and then you pointed to our other roommate. You said, I want this guy to win. Was that the guy you wanted to win?
Yeah.
You pointed us.
I said, Tony, I asked him who he thinks is going to win. And then he pointed to Chad Gable and said, "Is that who I think it is?" And I said, "Yes." And he said,
I thought you looked at him and said,
"That's who I want to."
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I wanted Sami Zayn the whole time. Gable just fought for the belt like 3 months ago. I don't need that again.
Fair.
I'm a big component of not having rematches that quickly. Which is a big. I don't need to see the same match I just saw. That's my big thing. Snitsky over Jerry Lawler, 421. We move on. Oh, Kurt Angle and Triple H are backstage. They're warming up. They're getting ready for their match against C.W. Anderson and Dean Malenko. Legacy against Kurt Angle and Triple H later tonight. But up first, Chad, this guy, this absolute lunatic has gone off the rails, Chad. He has been talking conspiracy theories. He has evolved from conspiracy theories about his booking stature or like his standing in the booking pecking tower to actual real world theories and conspiracy theories, flat earth, we didn't go to the moon, stuff like that. And he has gone off the deep end, and he turned on Chris Jericho a few weeks ago, and Jericho just politely just said, hey, we got to go on separate ways, man. We took care of business. That's it. We beat Legacy. We got to go on. And Jericho, he got attacked by Chad Collier. Chad Collier went off the deep end, screeching. He was yelling. He was just, no one knows what was going on with Chad Collier's head. Jericho, in the go home, the last Friday night on Friday Night SmackDown, went. He knocked on Chad Collier's locker room door. He just wanted to go talk to him, see what was going through his head. And his whole room, like his locker room, there's like coordinates and there's scribbles on the walls. There's a whiteboard with just like triangles with mugshots of people's like their pictures and circled, and there's a big picture of Chris Jericho right in the middle of his face was circled, and then an X mark. Chad Collier has gone off the deep end, Chad. He has lost his mind, and it's gotten to a dangerous point where WWE officials almost canceled this match, but Jericho pleaded with them. He said, I need this match to happen. This is the only way someone's going to get into Chad Collier's head, try to snap him out of what's going on. And we got that match here tonight, Chad. Chris Jericho, Chad Collier. Security is on watch. There are extra police officers just on hand, just in case, Chad, something goes wrong with Chad Collier. He snaps even more. Who do you got?
Oh, I pick my boy Chad. I think he's been wrongfully...
no, at this rate, man, he's gone off the deep end. I don't know if wrongfully before, but now he's gotten to that point where it's kind of crossed into real life, and he's become a dangerous member of society, and people are genuinely afraid to be with him backstage and stuff like that. If you're still picking Chad Collier,
I ride with Chad, the king of Rat City.
Well, Chad, Chris Jericho, he does his best to just try to talk sense into him. He tries to talk sense into Chad Collier. And Chad Collyer just keeps like getting up and just trying to attack him. He's like a robot that just like he sees his target and he just won't stop fighting, won't go down until that target is eliminated. Jericho hits a nasty DDT, let me tell you, and it kind of snaps Chad Collyer back into somewhat of reality for a second. And he looks at Jericho and he's kind of looking around like, what the hell's going on? Like, where the hell am I? Like, what's going on? And Jericho's like, are you all... Chad, and Chad is in a state of shock at this point, can't say anything, and Jericho just sees this. He doesn't understand. He doesn't see what's going on. He can't read what's going on in Collier's mind, and he has to pick him up again. Hits him with another DDT, which has reverted Chad Collier back into the conspiracy nut job that he is. And Jericho puts him in the wall of Jericho. The Lion Tamer, and makes Chad Collier tap out in 25-43. A unbelievable match in terms of in-ring performance and storytelling. But Jericho, as Chad Collier, he's gone off the deep end, Chad, and I don't know what's gonna fix him. Damn. Damn. He needs Fig back in his life. We move on, though, Chad. BG James and Chris Daniels are on their way down to the ring after commercial break. They're on the way down to the ring. BG James, another member of this roster that's kind of been disgraced and made fun of over the last few years, as he has really struggled with alcohol and drug abuse, costing him jobs. He was here in WWF and fell into some dark times and got fired. He went to WCW. Same thing, got fired. He came back to the Fed for a couple days, and then I think we sent him to Ring of Honor. And that really kind of changed his life. He became Ring of Honor World Champion. Out of the days of like Chris Hero and Samoa Joe becoming champion in Ring of Honor and like in real life. Out of the days of Road Dogg in 2003 becoming Ring of Honor champion. And that really kind of turned his life around and kind of got him in the good view of the general mainstream wrestling culture, because people have really came around on BG James, and that little relevancy has gotten BG James back hired. He has promised to the WWE that he's back. He's 100% clean. He's found Jesus, whatever. And he's fully back, and he says, and this is the best shape he's ever been. And he proved that by winning the 2003 Summer Sizzler, a tournament to become number one contender for the U.S. champion. And he has run into a roadblock known as Stevie Richards and Scott Garland, the family, formerly known as Scotty Too Hotty. He's been a piece of work for Chris Daniels, and Garland started attacking BG James after the Summer Sizzler, to a point where Scott Garland put BG James on the shelf for 3 to 4 weeks right after the Sizzler, right before SummerSlam, right before BG James's crowning achievement, his resurgence into the limelight. Scott Garland and Stevie Richards took it all away. And now BG James, he's back. We saw him return on the go-home of Friday Night SmackDown, and he has made the call. He says, I'm healthy, I'm clean, and I'm ready to take that United States Championship off your waist, Stevie Richards. You took time out of my life, out of my career, and I'm going to take the one thing that you love and you cherish, and that's that United States Championship. Chad, Stevie Richards in BG James, a match no one thought would ever happen in this save, a match that people were dreaming about in episode 1 has finally come full circle here tonight. Chad, Road Dogg and Stevie Richards, who do you got?
I've got Stevie Richards.
Chad, I'm going to ask you why, because I like hearing your thought process on stuff.
I think Scott Garland will get involved. I think it will cost BG James. And, I just don't think it's BG James' time yet.
Chad, it's like you read my book, because as BG James was about to hit the boom, shadow, and shake, or whatever he fucking calls his finisher, Scott Garland gets in the ring. He throws the United States Championship to Stevie Richards, who catches it. The referee, Earl Hebner, has to go over and grab the belt. And he throws Scott Garland out. And Scott Garland's losing it. Stevie Richards is losing it. BG James comes over, rolls up Stevie Richards. 1, 2, kick out by Stevie Richards. They roll away. Stevie Richards hits the Stevie kick on BG James right out of the roll-up finisher, and that is the win. Stevie Richards defends his belt for the first time over BG James in 1815 with the Stevie kick. A nice call there, Chad. A nice call and another win. Another win for Stevie Richards is, he wasn't going to lose the belt to BG James. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. A big win. But now, Chad, backstage, Kevin Kelly asks Sean Stasiak about what's going on with Stone Cold, as those two have been sharing a lot of time and a lot of beer together. And Sean Stasiak says, look, Kevin, we're two guys that have been wrongly accused by the WWE Universe that we're bad people. Yeah, Stone Cold got in some drug smuggling operation that cost him his job. Hell yeah, I attacked a police officer that cost me my job. But we're just normal humans. And you know what they always say? Everyone gets a second chance. And Kevin, let me tell you, Universe, let me tell you, I had to work and grind for a second chance in this company. And me and Stone Cold, we're sharing a lot of similarities in that. We were kind of written off for one bad day, one bad mistake that we made. That's not who we are. That is not who we are as people. That is not who I am as a human being. I love the police. I made a dumb mistake. Stone Cold made a dumb mistake smuggling drugs for years. It happens. You can't just say that's him, all right? Stone Cold is a humanitarian, a philanthropist. I can't say that word, but you know what I'm trying to say. And we're just bonding over the fact that, the WWE Universe, the WWE locker room, the WWE manager kind of just threw us aside and just called us trash for one dumb mistake. We didn't have our backs through it all. And, there's times I wish that, I went to that other company. I went across the green pasture to the other company that, we know rumors. We hear them. They get 3rd, 4th, 5th chances for the same shit we do. I missed a year of my wrestling career. When I was on top of the game, I missed a year. Stone Cold, Steve Austin, he missed 2 years of wrestling because of that. Hell, I could have been over there in that other land. I could have been world champion by now. I could have been tag team champion, U.S. champion. I wouldn't have had to sit on the sideline. But now we're here. We're back. We're here to right the wrongs, to show why everyone that we are changed human beings, and you cannot judge us for one mistake. So, Kevin, you were asking why me and Stone Cold are hanging out. That's why. Big Stone Cold and Stasiak can hang out, Chad.
Hell yeah. Listen, that makes sense. They can bond over their life of crime.
Was he right about what he said about WCW?
No, we don't want it.
We go backstage, Chad. It's time. Chris Daniels, Scott Studd, a rivalry that has been brewing, Chad, for months now, Chad, months. And it all came together when Christian formed the Patriarchy just a month and a half ago. JBL, the Jabalowski twins, the Patriarchy, Christian's big gang of muscleheads. And they ran amok on Scott Vick and Major Stash in the last few weeks, causing injuries to Major Stash on the lead up to SummerSlam. Scott Vick said, hey, look, Scott Studd, I got this. And he challenged Christian Cage and JBL to a match, and JBL put that man in the hospital. He put that Scott Vick into a hospital. And Scott Studd, so this is not only for my boys, Scott Vick, Major Stash, Crowbar, I love you. This is for all the kids who are watching, who've been bullied by some bigger dudes. men who have been outnumbered. This is for the kids that will watch this. They will watch me beat you. They will stand up and rise to that occasion. They will rise to the men that are pushing them down and taking advantage of them and said, no more. And they will take it to guys like you, Christian Cage. I'm doing it for other kids watching it who are getting bullied like you bullied Scott Fick, like you bullied Major Stash. This one is for you guys. Scott Studd, Christian Cage, Chad, who do you have in this match?
Christian Cage.
Chad, I gotta ask, why you think Christian Cage wins this match?
I just think Scott Studd has one more day of being bullied in him, and it's
a big bully advocate, Chad.
I think Christian Cage is going to bully him in that ring tonight.
Chad, I might bully you for thinking that. But a match full of interferences and outside shenanigans has led to Christian Cage bullying Scott Studd into tapping one more time in 1915. It got a 91. Holy shit. The boys were working tonight. And Scott Studd's a underrated worker, Chad. Another former WCW guy. No, you don't want to hear that. Are you going to resign? Oh, never mind. We're not going to talk about contracts ever again with you, Chad. Not ever again, but you know what I mean. But yes, another big win for Christian Cage. The Patriarchy getting a big win. They just lost at when did they just lose? Did they lose at SummerSlam? I gotta look. They just lost a big tag match, I think on a SmackDown a couple weeks ago. And the go home to SummerSlam was a 3-on-3. They lost in that match to Scott Studd, Major Stash, and Scott Vick. Sorry, I had to pull the big notes out, Chad. I had to pull the big notes. But backstage, Chad, we have camera crews following PJ Black and Mark Henry. They heard a phone call of a girl scream at SummerSlam, and we are led to believe that is Stephanie McMahon. The first SmackDown of September, PJ Black looked into his locker, and there was a note that fell when he opened his locker door, and it was just an address. And PJ Black and Mark Henry have been on a road trip across America to get to that address, and they have arrived. They are here. And unfortunately for you, Chad, you'll have to watch SmackDown to know what happens, because that is a SmackDown-only angle.
Nice.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry, I'm trying to get people to watch the TV shows. We got to get viewers, Chad.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't get the pay-per-views if we're off TV.
The Bubba Ray Dudley and the Devon Ray Dudley are down the ramp. They're coming down to the ring, Chad. Tag team championships are on the line. Up next, Chad, the Dudleys against Paul London and Brian Kendrick. Those two tag teams were in a massive match at SummerSlam just 1 month ago in a TLC match, which saw London and Kendrick win or retain the tag team championships. We saw, of course, on the TV shows, if you have missed them, the Basher brothers told Paul London and Brian Kendrick, hey, we had you beat. We had those tag team championships in our grasp. So Paul London and Brian Kendrick said, hey, fuck it. Let's wrestle for them right now. In which the Bashrams lost. And now the Dudleys said, hey, look, if you want to do this the right way, it's time. And London and Kendrick said, hey, look, we respect you, the Dudleys. We saw what you've done in ECW. We saw what you did in WCW. But it'll be our honor to make sure you never get a SmackDown WWE Tag Team Championships under your belt. So here we are. London and Kendrick against the Dudleys, Chad. Who do you got in this match?
I have the Dudleys.
Oh, you think the Dudleys are going to win the titles tonight?
Uh-huh. I think it's time to one of the best tag teams in the game, and I just think it's time. Something's telling me.
Well, something is telling you wrong, Chad. As that match gets to its climax, as I get to my climax here, the Dudley boys go for the 3D, Chad. They go for the 3D, where Brian Kendrick takes the 3D, Chad. He takes the 3D, and Paul London comes into the ring, and he comes into the ring to save Brian Kendrick, and Bubba Ray Dudley hits one of the nastiest bubble bombs on Paul London. He bubble bombs Paul London onto Brian Kendrick, Chad. And then he dumps him out of the ring. Devon comes up, does his flying diving nut drop. And Chad, that's the match.
Nice.
That's the match.
Yeah.
The Dudley. Oh, yeah. I completely forgot. Danny Basham comes in, Doug Basham as well, and interferes with London and Kendrick. They come out, they attack him pre-match. So this was pre-match. That's why I forgot I skipped foreplay, I went straight to the finish. This was the beginning of the match. A lot of sex talk here tonight, Chad.
Yeah.
Yes, Chad's so sick of this series. I can't. Chad wants to be done with this shit so bad.
No, this is fun.
Listen to episode 6 and listen to this episode and count how many words he says in this episode versus episode 6, and you'll be amazed. You would be amazed. Yeah, but Danny and Doug Basham attacked Paul London and Brian Kendrick when they were coming down to the ring, Chad, and then dumped him in the ring. So it wasn't an interference, it wasn't a DQ worthy, but obviously laying the hurt on Brian Kendrick and Paul London before the match, causing them to lose. The Dudleys are your SmackDown champions.
Are they all going to have an orgy at the next pay-per-view?
Oh, Chad. Possibly. But it is a Raw pay-per-view, so...
I mean, so it'd be a live sex celebration.
Chad, it's time. The legacy, the heritage. Dean Malenko, member of the famous and legendary Malenko clan. C.W. Anderson, member of the legendary Anderson clan. Taking on Kurt Angle and Triple H. Two of the greatest to ever do it. Teaming up together to take on Dean Malenko and C.W. Anderson. Legacy is what they've been calling themselves because they have a family legacy to live up to. And they have been disgruntled, you could say the least. C.W. Anderson was once the prime prince of SmackDown. Some were calling him the future of the WWE. Was the last member of the Survivor Series match just 10 months ago. He won the match for SmackDown. He was in the Final Four of the Royal Rumble. He almost booked his ticket to WrestleMania to fight Masawa for the championship. And then it all came crumbling down all of a sudden. His matches were nowhere to be seen. He wasn't being booked. He was not being used. His momentum gone. His push wasted. People were calling him the biggest bust of 2003 until he walked into Dean Malenko's arms. Dean Malenko took him in. And now they have been saying how pissed off they are about being, what's the word I'm looking for, Chan? What's the word I'm looking for? Cut in front of. There we go. I got you. They were cut in front of by these either outsiders or guys they know they're better than them. They're third generation superstars. Dean Malenko, former Intercontinental Champion. C.W. Anderson he beat Team Raw by himself. He almost won the Royal Rumble. And they have been on a losing streak in the last couple of weeks. They took on Chad Collier and Jericho in the first SmackDown of the month. They lost. They took on the Final Bosses the next week. They lost. And now they walk into probably their biggest opponents now of Kurt Angle and Triple H, who are hot off of 2 months of rest, who are hot off of Kurt Angle's Olympic training, as Kurt Angle is trying to get back to the 2004 Olympics in Athens, Greece. Triple H, 3-time world champion, 1-time European champion, 1-time Intercontinental champion. Kurt Angle, 1-time world champion, 1-time Olympic gold medalist, taking on two guys who are just sick and tired of guys like Kurt Angle and Triple H who could just disappear for 2 months and then come back and just waltz into the main event scene. No, you got to earn it, Dean Malenko said. You got to be in the ring like me and CWR every day, every second of my life. I wake up and I think wrestling. I think of the sacred mat while you guys are gallivanting all across training on a mat for Olympic Greco-style wrestling. No, the only wrestling I think about and I care about is the WWE, and we're going to bring it to you tonight. Kurt Angle, Triple H, C.W. Anderson, Dean Malenko, our co-main event tonight, Chad. Who do you got?
I will be going with Kurt Angle and the Game Triple H.
Chad.
Nothing against the legacy. They come from a nice, successful family and have a nice resume on their own. But that's an Olympic gold medalist, and that's the Game Triple H.
That is the Game Triple H. And Chad, you would be correct. It was a hell of a match, dude. 4 of the greatest to do it right now, but this was even crazier. C.W. Anderson on the lead up to this. I forgot to even mention this because I just looked over because I scribbled everything. C.W. Anderson has a pinfall victory over Triple H on the run up to this match. C.W. Anderson beating Triple H. So they have the momentum on their side. But it was just not enough. When you team Triple H and Kurt Angle together, you have 2 of the greatest wrestlers in the ring ever to do it right now. And it was just not enough. The family legacy just can't hold up enough for C.W. Anderson and Dean Malenko. They take the loss. Triple H pinning C.W. Anderson with a pedigree. A big win. A massive win for Kurt Angle and Triple H. Chad, and now we got a Raw recap right before our main event. Just to go over what happened on Monday Night Raw the last couple of weeks, including the opening Raw after September. The Ric Flair title celebration was cut short by that bastard, Chad. The man that actually won Ric Flair the belt when hitting Brock Lesnar with the guitar during the title celebration, hit Ric Flair with the guitar and cashed in as King of the Mountain. Jeff Jarrett pinned Ric Flair to become WWE champion just 24 hours after Ric Flair won his 14th world title. We also saw the return of Alex Wright. Alex Wright,
Mr. Hollywood,
Mr. Hollywood is back from his star movie, and he is back. He will be on Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. Be sure to tune in to see what is going on in Alex Wright's mind. But that is your Monday Night Raw recap, Chad. And now, we also
very excited for Raw tonight.
We also saw, I forgot to say, Teddy Hart call out Chavo Guerrero and the Guerrero family, which in turn had Eddie Guerrero come out and fight Teddy Hart on Monday Night Raw just 6 days ago on Monday Night Raw. Teddy Hart won because Eddie Guerrero got hurt in the match, which caused Eddie Guerrero to lose. So Teddy Hart has some heat on him as he botched the move that broke Eddie Guerrero's shoulder, putting Eddie Guerrero out for 3 to 4 months. Yeah, not a great look for Teddy Hart as we had to scold him, and got a very hefty fine from CMLL, who graciously let us use their champion who got hurt in his only match. So they were not happy with us, and they fined us $2 million. So not a good look for WWE. And no, that doesn't happen in the real game, but I wanted some consequence because it only seemed realistic that there was some consequence. So I removed $2 million from my finances. But now, Chad, it's time. It is time for our main event, a match that Masawa wanted himself at SummerSlam. He has gone through the gauntlet. He has been a champion now for 13, 14, 15 months, Chad. A year and 3 months he has been World Heavyweight Champion, and he has called a hell of a run, and does it come to an end tonight? Does he walk out of Unforgiven champion, or does Hashimoto win the championship from him? Remember, this match happened because Masawa announced at the end of SummerSlam just 28 days ago that his contract is up after today, and he will be leaving the WWE, and he wants to put his championship on the line against a man he has been in wars with, a man that has held his back, a man that he deeply respects and truly loves, Shinya Hashimoto. John, a couple weeks ago, though, Hashimoto says it'll be an honor to take the belt off Masawa, in which Masawa did not like, because that Hashimoto's referring to he thinks he's going to beat Masawa. And now there's a little bit of tension between these dudes. And all came to blows at the go home, the Friday night SmackDown, where these two had a brawl to end the show. Two of these guys do love and respect each other. But Hamasawa, he knows he's not going to lose to anyone. Hashimoto, this could be the opportunity to put his claim down, become the tribal chief, the king of the final bosses. This is his opportunity to become the final boss of professional wrestling. It's Masawa. It's Hashimoto. Masawa's his final match in the WWE, Chad. Who do you have?
I have Masawa.
Oh, Chad.
I think he's going out with a W, and I think he's going to lay that belt in the middle of the ring. I think he's going to tell us all goodbye, and then I think we're crowning a new champion later on. But Masawa is going to win.
Chad, just go book the match too then. Run the match flow. Come on. What's the finish?
Masawa hits Hashimoto. Everyone's going to be thinking he's going to hit him with one of his patented finishing moves, but instead, he hits him with a Samoan spike.
What the fuck?
He calls it the Hashimoto spike.
He hits... So he hits Hashimoto with the Samoan spike?
Yeah. He calls it the Hashimoto spike to get in his head.
What the Why would it get in his head, Chad? Oh, I lost him. I lost Chad, but Chad, I have lost Springle. It doesn't matter. We'll go to the finish. He's back now, I think. Chad?
Hello.
There you go.
Hello?
There we go.
Hello.
It was an unbelievable match, Chad. There are no Samoan spikes even in the building. All right? Why would Hashimoto's not Samoan?
That's why it's called the Hashimoto spike.
Oh, my... But no, Chad, this all comes to a blow where Hashimoto hits his big fucking finish, and he's going to pin Masawa, and he looks at him, and he does the Ric Flair I love you to him. He does the Ric Flair I love you, and hits him with an unbelievable lariat. Hashimoto goes down slowly, goes down to pin him. 1, 2, 3, and Masawa kicks out, and the fans and Hashimoto are like, "Oh, you, you mother sucker, you!" And the fans are losing it. Hashimoto brings him up. He picks Masawa up to hit Masawa's own finish. He goes to try to hit the Emerald Flosion, Chad, but Masawa reverses it, rolls him like Okada's Rainmaker. He does Okada's Rainmaker to him, and then he picks him up. Masawa hits the Emerald Flosion on Hashimoto. He's got a tear in his eye as he goes down for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Masawa goes out, defeats Shinya Hashimoto in 32:02, and makes this defense number 9 of the WWE Championship. And it's kind of like how Chad booked it 1 for 1. I think he looked at my book when I was sleeping. He lays out the title. He says, "This is it. Thank you, everyone." And now we have a vacated championship. As that is the end of Masawa's run in WWE. Honestly, one of the greatest runs anyone's ever had in this save. You can think of Goldberg. Goldberg's run was pretty good. Rock is on one right now, but I think what Masawa has gone through, who he's gone through with, and it took one loss in 2 years here in WWE. That's unbelievable. Has never been pinned in singles action. So Masawa, that is it for Masawa here. What he does now, I don't know. Does he go back to Japan? Does he go to Mexico? Does he go to WCW? That is for him to find out and for us to find out. But for all of us here in the WWE and here in Chad, we thank you, Masawa, for one hell of a run here in the WWE. We thank you. As the fans also start chanting, "Thank you, Masawa," to end the show. A 98 Fifth Third Arena, Ohio. What better place to see Masawa send off than Cincinnati, Ohio? But I don't. I don't. Hey, I don't book the. I don't book the. Well, I do book where they go, but I've already had them booked prior to knowing what was going on. So
it was that
lucky
damn
them.
Monster Truck Kentucky Derby show.
Fuck you, Indian. Fuck you, Gravedigger. Fuck you, Maximum Destruction. It was the Monster Dam.
Medusa.
Oh, she's your roster member, brother.
I know.
We're going to clip that. We're going to use that as a storyline of owner of WCW says, fuck you, Medusa. And then she's on a rampage and wants out. That is Unforgiven. That is it. We have Fall Brawl up next, Chad. Do you want to give them a sneak peek of what to look forward to? What is your opening match?
War Games!
Oh, hell yeah. We'll see you for War Games. We'll see you for Fall Brawl. We'll see you for WWE presents WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania with The Rock, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes.
All right, everybody, coming off of the ends of Bad Blood, we are here with Fall Brawl. Justin, we got War Games tonight, on top of many other things.
War Games.
War Games.
Dude, one of my favorite. It didn't even main event last year. What the fuck? What the hell? This pay-per-view, that match doesn't mean anything now. Never mind. I don't care about War Games anymore. He said I got...
I will let you know that a War Games match will main event this year and open.
Is this usually where you have War Games? Or did you just start doing it last year? No, 2000, as we see right here, it opened the show. Yep. As the cats are fighting in my room now. Hell yeah. Let's just go down. It's Fall Brawl, the home of the War Games, Chad. The home of the War Games. It opens every year. Okay, you're just afraid of it main eventing. Copy. I'm joking. Main event this year. We go back in 1999. We were running at the Memphis Liberty Bowl. And the main event, did I have a War Games there? No War Games. So the War Games debuted in 2000. The main event was Raven and Goldberg. And we also saw Chef over Ahmed to win the ECW World title. That's crazy. That's awesome. Chef also beat RVD that night. And Sting defeated Ric Flair for the U.S. Championship. Psychosis, was there like a...
It was a tournament.
No. Oh, was it? Psychosis won 4 matches that night to win the ECW World Championship. Yep. He got a 60. He was so fucking... What the hell is that picture, Ahmed?
That is just such an unflattering Ahmed Johnson picture.
2000, we had a sellout in the St. Pete's Time Forum with the opening match of AJ, RVD, Taz, Kidman, and Chef Psychosis defeating the Syndicate in the War Games. We also saw Suzuki over Mick Foley, Debbie over Nicole Bass, Hoovy Ray, and our main event of Jericho Owen over Owen Hart, one of your second 100 matches of all time. 2001 sellout in Von der Braun Center in Montgomery, Alabama, was the opening match of Taka, Suzuki, Taz, Shane Douglas in a 4v4 War Games match over Ahmed, Big Daddy v. D'Lo Brown? When the fuck did you have D'Lo Brown?
Planet Ahmed.
Do I not remember? I gotta look up. Okay. I honestly do not remember D'Lo Brown being over there ever. Chris Harris defeated Charlie House, Mike Sanders, Rey Mysterio over Sweet Sensations of Candido and Shane Helms. Bret Hart defeated Mask number 3. We're not going to look at that. Hoovy over Yang. Okay. And Jimmy Wang Yang getting in a match over there back in the day. And Shawn Michaels over Sting and RVD with the Mask 3, Mask, and Mask 2 in the main event. Shannon Moore and Goldberg was also a match. What a stinky pay-per-view this was.
Yeah, only a 90.
And then 2002, last year, the 90 as well, we see World's Greatest Tag Team over the 5 Stars as this guy's Mr. 5-Star himself, Chris Candido. The Dave Meltzer gimmick for some weird reason. TJ Wilson over Nick Dinsmore. Sasuke over Trent Acid and Eddie Colon and shit like that. Shane Helms over Regal. Punk over Shamrock. Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, Hoovy, Super Crazy, and Roddy Piper defeated Kidman, Suzuki, Matt Hardy, Taka, and Eric Young in a War Games match. And our main event of the night, Rock over Raven. What was the huge announcement, Jen? Oh, Billy Kidman won, or was like GM or something like that. Or DiBiase was a GM. But Jen?
Yeah, it was but yeah, we're here.
I thought you
we're
were
here
going
now. It's 2003.
It's 2003, Chad. It's
And there are 2 War Games cards matches on the card too.
Ooh, dolls. Let's get into it, Chad. Short show. Wow, there's not a lot of segments here.
So our first match is a pre-show match. Now A-Train has joined the Flex Express. Of course, you know, Dave Bautista went to go film movies, and Wiz and Lex needed another workout buddy. So A-Train has been spotted over there and has been teaming with them in the last few weeks. And tonight, he has a one-on-one match against Excalibur, to which A-Train defeated Excalibur with a flying leg drop.
Yeah, A-Train now part of the crew. Batista's gone. Luger. I haven't seen Luger in a while, to be honest with you.
Well, go to the next segment and you'll be sure to see him.
There he is!
Ah, they're here! The Flex Express are in the ring, and they're doing just that. They're flexing.
And they're expressing.
And they're expressing.
All right, that's cool. Wow, the Pistons beat the Hornets by 20. Sorry, pardon my language.
Nice. We have another pre-show match tonight, a tag team match. The Idol and the Understudy taking on the team called Snowballs. And in a pre-show bout that had a decent reaction from the crowd, the Idol and the Understudy defeated Snowballs in 9:53 when the Idol pinned Al Snow with the golden ticket.
Let me tell you something right now. I hate the Snowballs. I hate them.
I wish they had better chemistry.
Yeah, but it's whatever. I mean, it's cool. Al Snow only getting 42, Ball only getting a 46. The Understudy a 41, and the Idol a 69. Good win for the Idol.
Nice. Yes, a good win for the Understudy too.
Yeah, Balls Mahoney getting better at his gimmick here, Chad. What is his gimmick?
Yeah, that's good. That's all we can ask. Balls.
Nice. Oh my god.
And our final pre-show match, a triple threat match. One of the men who was kicked out of the Buried last month.
Yes.
Steen. He has popped up on Nitro and has been on quite a winning streak as of late. And tonight that winning streak is extended as he defeats Disco Inferno and Crash Holly in the pre-show.
Chad, the people are asking, is he the #1 seed in the playoffs right now? I think he's 4-0.
You know, it's funny you ask. That's like the talk. Everyone's saying this kid, you know, being let go of the Buried might have been the best thing that ever happened to him. He's on a roll.
He is on a roll.
That's one thing that people can say about the history of WCW. Anytime these like young guys kind of get on a roll, you go back to like early Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Shannon Moore. They've been known to go on some pretty some hot runs.
Some hot runs, brother. Some hot runs indeed. So Steen, a big win. Yeah, I mean, who would have known being kicked out of the group of your fellow bandmates would have elevated your career like it has for Steen? But we get into the main card here, Chad. The lack of anything interesting happening in this segment was a problem. Nothing interesting here in WCW, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I rated them on star quality, which maybe is...
Yeah, you don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, that might come back to haunt me later today. Wake me up inside, I can't wake up. That's the theme song of War Games, as we have here some of the men who are in that men's War Games match, of course. Rey Mysterio, Abyss, Fit Finlay. You know, they have had their issues with the Paul Heyman guys in the last few months. And, you know, Abyss is currently the #1 contender. And every time he tries to pick a fight with Rob Van Dam sends video packages of him doing very important championship
type things, like going out to movie premieres, going out to charity events, representing this company. He has no time to show up every single week. You know, he's an attraction. He's a draw. You know, he's not. He called himself. He called. He said he's not like those peasants like Rey Mysterio, Abyss, and Fit Finlay who are going to show up every single week and risk injury in matches. You know, Rob Van Dam, he's done with that. So he's been ducking Abyss, and it wasn't for Ted DiBiase being like, no, you are contracted to be at every pay-per-view, so you will be at this pay-per-view, and you will be wrestling. And that's when they, Rey Mysterio said, now's our chance. So they decided to have a War Games match, and in the weeks leading up to this, anytime they were talking to other wrestlers about possibly being partners, the the Paul Heyman guys took business into their own hands, and they would beat them down as like a fear tactic. And Mick Foley told Paul Heyman that he was sick and tired of it. Paul Heyman has been able to use bullying and fear tactics his entire career to get himself further ahead. And, Mick Foley, he said, because Mick Foley's doing this thing right now where he had just signed with WCW, and he's not really sure what brand he wants to be on yet. He's got people that he wants to mix it up with on both brands. So, he popped in to tell Paul Heyman that he kind of thinks he's kind of an asshole. And Paul Heyman took offense to that, and Mick Foley saw himself on the receiving end of a Paul Heyman guy's beatdown. But luckily Ray, Abyss, and Fit Finlay ran in to make the save, and Mick Foley said, I'm going to be a member of the Paul Heyman guys. Now, I'm going to be a member of Team Rey Mysterio and Abyss. And now, Shawn Michaels, of course, told, it came out in the weeks leading up to this show that Shawn Michaels kind of had something worked out with the Paul Heyman guys. And the thing he worked out was, if you go back to Great American Bash, when Shawn Michaels was able to capitalize and win the U.S. belt after the Paul Heyman guys distracted Fit Finlay when they put their hands on Canyon. And Paul Heyman said, hey, Shawn, you kind of owe us now. And Paul Heyman kept telling Shawn Michaels that he owed him a favor, and Shawn Michaels, every time he would tell Shawn Michaels it was time to pay up, Shawn Michaels kept ducking him and dodging him, until finally Paul Heyman said, well, since you're continuing to not follow your end of the bargain, we're taking our U.S. championship back. And Raven challenged Shawn Michaels, and it was a classic, got a 99 overall, Raven won the U.S. belt, and the Paul Heyman guys took out Shawn Michaels. And then leading up to the show, the Kendo Cashin, Ahmed, and Matt Cross have been trying to represent their mentor in matches where they have all come up short. And on the go home of Nitro, the numbers game seemed too much. It was the 5 Paul Heyman guys and the 4 members of our beloved heroes, when all of a sudden Shawn Michaels' music hit and he runs down to the ring and said, I will be the 5th member of War Games, which leads us to the Paul Heyman guys versus Ray, Abyss, Fit Finlay, Mick Foley, and Shawn Michaels. But we have much more in store today as we move on to our next segment.
Yes, we do. Here we go. Our next segment. Oh boy, here we go. Jack.
As we have the first War Games team makes their way to the ring. That's right. We have a women's War Game match. Of course, Trish Stratus and Debbie Malenko, they've been touting how they are the true pioneers of this women's division. And these flash in the pan stars, they come and they go, but at the end of the day, Trish and Debbie, they are the focal points of this women's division, and it was high time they start getting some respect around here. Of course, they were talking smack about the women's champion, Beth Phoenix, and the 24/7 champion, who has been on a roll, Tara, on their Mean Girls Club talk show, they were quite sick of it, and this kind of brought out a little feud where Trish and Debbie were getting involved in their matches, and eventually it spilled out and other women got involved, and Trish and Debbie decided, you know what? Since we're pioneers, we're trailblazers, we're history makers, we're gonna have a women's War Games match. And they went and they put together a team of Jazz, Jacqueline Moore, and Jackie Gata, J3, as they make their way to the ring. A face
There's only 4 girls.
Not all 5. I don't know why I didn't put all 5 of. Oh, I forgot to put Gail Kim. Gail Kim is also in this. I just didn't put her in the video in the entrance. But yeah, Gail Kim, newcomer who has been on a run in the women's division. She has been picking up some big wins. And of course, Tara and Beth, and they recruited Takako Inu and Nora Greenwald, who of course have had their issues separately with Trish and Debbie Malenko. As we get to our first ever women's War Games match.
Oh,
Justin,
here we go. I got the women the win.
Well, you were correct. The women did win in a bout that had decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Trish Stratus, Debbie Malenko, Jazz, Jackie Keita, and Jacqueline Moore defeated Tara, Beth Phoenix, Nora, and Takako Inu and Gail Kim in a War Games match when Debbie Malenko tapped out Takako Inu.
Yeah, wow. A big win. Jackie Keita, her debut match here, got a win. Got a 36.
The War Games is a War Games match.
She got a 36. She was the worst one in the ring in the whole match.
Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah, not a good showing for Jackie Keita. Recently divorced Jackie Keita in game as their long-term partner outside of the wrestling business has left her ass after it was announced that Jackie Keita was cheating on him. We have not found the name of the cheatee, but yeah, a marriage in shambles in Jackie Keita, and that could have led to her abysmal debut here in the WCW.
And you can definitely tell it was on her mind.
It was definitely on her mind.
Weighing on her mind. But yeah, the heels win our women's War Games match. Trish Stratus, Debbie Malenko, Jazz, Jackie Keita, and Jacqueline Moore. As we move on to our next segment, we see the woman who picked up the pinfall or the submission stares down the women's champion, Beth Phoenix.
Yes, Beth Phoenix, the women's champion, the one that cashed in the championship. Right? Yeah, she won off the cash-in, right?
Yeah, she won off a cash-in, yep.
Oh, boy, here we go. Here we go.
We have here the big guns. The big guns, they took a little time off from defending those tag belts to train Shaquille O'Neal to be a wrestler. And then after that, they said, okay, well, we're back here and now back to business. We want to defend these tag team championships. And so, they had a little televised little tag team, little tournament in a way. They called it the Tag Team Eliminator, actually. And to determine which team would step up to face the big guns. And I have that little bracket right next to me to tell you. We don't have to go through all of the teams, but I'll tell you the final 3. The final 3 were the Vampires, Joe and Lashley, and Hurricane and Shark Boy. And at the end of the day, Joe and Lash LaRue were able to represent the Savage Lion Academy and try to show Ken Shamrock, hey, listen, I know you're down in the dumps, but like we're back and we can come back from this. And they've been trying to prove that by winning the tag team championships for Ken Shamrock. And they had their match, and unfortunately during that match, there was an interference from Minoru Suzuki and Masahiro Chono. And the reason that happened is because Suzuki, Big Daddy V, and Chono said backstage that they were that of course the Paul Heyman guys were the biggest group, and they the most successful group and the best, and they they're not satisfied with their quest for gold, and they said they might as well add the tag team titles to their wrist because there's no team that holds a candle to them. They turned around. Big Show and Billy were standing right next behind them. Big Show and Billy started talking mad shit to them, disrespecting them. And so during this match, Paul Heyman guys ran out and basically threw the match out. There was a big brawl. And, the Big Show and Billy didn't like that. So they said, you know what, we're going to have the rematch of Fall Brawl, Samoa Joe and Lash LaRue versus the Big Guns for the tag team championships, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go, God, I don't know. It's such a crazy team. Big Show and Billy have really won me over since the beginning of them being, I think, randomized into tag teams. That was cool. I think that's the only... I remember we did that, and we did, 16 or 8 teams randomized, and that's the only 2 people that stuck together? Or those are the only 2 that you took from that randomization? I think you tore apart the other 17 or other 15 teams. So that's why I'm kind of grown on Big Show and Billy. I'm a true lover and respecter of live by the rando, die by the rando, and you have lived by it with Big Show and Billy. Samoa Joe, world beater, former Universal Champion, is tagging with Lash LaRue, which I think in this case is going to wear him down, hold him down, and cost him the tag team titles tonight. I think Big Show and Billy, the big guns, retain.
Nice. Well, Justin, you say you live by the rando, you die by the rando. I let the game decide.
Oh
this
my
one.
God.
So let's rock. And in about the head, great heat and good wrestling. The Big Guns defeat Lash and Joe in 1943 when Big Show pinned Lash LaRue with a chokeslam and make defense number 4 of the tag titles.
As I said it, Lash LaRue would be the problem and be the sole cause for Samoa Joe not to win this these belts tonight. So, point one to Justin for that call right there. Big win for the Big Guns though. Big fan of these guys. Big fan. Billy Gunn 66. The worst one in the match. Lash LaRue outperforming Billy. Okay, all right, Lash. I wasn't familiar with your game, Lash LaRue.
Listen, he's under the tutelage of Ken Shamrock, Randy Savage, and of course his tag team partner Samoa Joe and Vader. You know, he's got a lot of people to learn from.
Yes, but he just has not put it all together all at once yet. But it has the potential.
As we go to the next segment, the Savage Dojo are here, and even though they weren't victorious, they picked up Lash LaRue and Samoa Joe, and Ken Shamrock is giving them a tremendous pep talk, and so is Randy Savage.
Where's Vader?
Vader, he couldn't make the show today. He's at some weird monster truck show in Indiana.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. What the fuck is this?
We have, of course, the story. Of course, Chase Tatum, Sean O'Hare, and Daphne have been have been in the business of the vampires for a while now, and they've squared off. Kind of picture like the Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders feud that's been going on. Like these people, all these people have fought a bunch of times. The vampires have, for the most part, had their number, and so much so that they tried to lure Daphne away from Sean O'Hare and Chase Tatum. They said, you would fit in much better here with the vampires, and Daphne not only denied their request, but then challenged Rain, who of course joined the vampires last month, to a hardcore match tonight, and we're going to get that match at Fall Brawl right here, right now. Justin, who do you got?
I have...
Daphne versus Rain in a hardcore match.
I have the therapists who will be booked because all these 18,000 people will have to check into therapy after watching this horrendous match. I got Rain.
Nice.
I think it's Daphne, but I want Rain because who cares about Daphne? It's about Rain. Fuck off.
Well, there were lots of run-ins in this match, members of both teams. But yeah, Daphne was able to pick up the win.
Why did Gangrel and Drew Blood attack Daphne? What the hell? What?
Because they're sinister people.
Yeah, and then Chase Tatum and Sean O'Hare attacked Rain? What the hell? Madeja!
They said an eye for an eye.
Madeja? Madeja?
Yeah, the manager of the vampires.
That cooled the crowd a little bit, Chad.
It did. Well, it's okay, because this will pick them back up. We are going to determine number 1 contenders for the Trios Championships tonight. Now, don't adjust your television sets. That is indeed Perry Saturn. Perry Saturn has started teaming with Octagon and Pentagon. They've been going by planets and shapes, and they have been on a roll lately. Ever since Perry Saturn has teamed with them, they have not lost a trios match. Of course, the FBI continue to say that they are the best of the best here. And Hurricane Shark Boy and Super Eric are a new to the trios division, but they've promised to rid Nitro of all of the evil because they're superheroes. And tonight, these three go at it to determine the number 1 contenders. Justin, who do you got?
Who do I got? Fuck, man. I think I'm going to go with Perry Saturn and the Shapes, brother. They've been on a roll as of late, and I just have a little bit of faith in Perry Saturn for some dumb reason.
Nice. Well, in a decent match, Perry Saturn and Los Shapes do indeed get the win when they defeated Hurricane and the Just Us League and the FBI. Become the #1 contenders for the Trios title. I don't know why I enunciated I like that.
Yeah,
like
what the hell is that
but...
about?
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, new #1 contenders, Perry Saturn and Los Shapes.
Yeah, so we got a couple things to talk about here. Chuck Palumbo sustaining a stinger in the middle of the match really took them out of it. I think that's the reason why they just didn't win. Chuck Palumbo getting hurt. And the Hurricane, by far, the best worker in this match, not even close. Former World Heavyweight Champion. I got a burp. Contender, pardon my language. So the Hurricane carrying this match, really. He was like the Dolph Ziggler in a Royal Rumble. Just he can control and dictate the flow of everyone in the ring. And Hurricane brought a lot to this match, but just was not enough, as he used the first elimination, actually. So never mind anything about what I said about the Hurricane. Take it all back. He stinks.
Then we needed to rely...
We needed to rely on Johnny Stamboli to run the fucking show. Jesus Christ. Thanks, Randy. Jesus, he's got a big-ass head. He looks... That's crazy.
Crazy night for Randy Savage. Bill Goldberg comes down to the ring, and he starts, he has a promo, and he says, Raleigh, North Carolina, I came out here tonight to once again prove why not only am I the most dominant professional wrestler in the history of this company, but I'm also the smartest. You see, I'm not out here getting involved in war games matches. I'm not over here fighting people's battles for them. I'm focusing on what's important. I'm focusing on racking up wins so that I can get in that playoff and get back my world championship. And so that's why tonight I'm giving somebody the opportunity of a lifetime to get a win over Bill Goldberg. Who's going to step up and take on the best? Bill Goldberg is having an open challenge here tonight.
Yeah. He's been in the ring with, the list of people the last few weeks.
He's been tearing it up. He has a win over, like, Nick Dinsmore.
He's got a win over Nick Dinsmore. He has a win over Mikey Whipwreck. He's got a win over, what was the last guy? Terry Funk. So, I mean, if he's not #1 in the playoffs right now, I don't know who is. I really, He's got 3 of the biggest wins of anyone in the league. And he's going to take on James Gibson, who I think hasn't won a match in WCW.
I think he's won a match.
He hasn't won a match yet. I take it to the bank. Run the tapes back. A big win for a win for Goldberg.
That's a win for Goldberg. Another win for Goldberg as he beats James Gibson with a jackhammer.
James Gibson, a former prominent member of the program, has just really not got the momentum back since leaving the WWF and coming back to WCW. He was a former cruiserweight champion, I think. Cruiserweight tag champion, possibly. James Gibson here in the WCW. Chad, can you?
I think he was a cruiserweight tag team champion.
That sounds right.
Never a cruiserweight champion.
It sounds like
Never a cruiserweight champion.
And oh wow, we're already here. That was the co-main.
That was the co-main.
What the hell? No wonder Vader was at the fucking Monster Jam. We got Goldberg, James Gibson in an unannounced co-main event.
As we have Rey Mysterio, Abyss, Fit Finlay, Mick Foley, and Shawn Michaels make their way to the ring. But we're not done yet because we have one more entrance to make. The announcer introduces them, and all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and a War Games team as dominant, as ruthless as mine deserves an entrance worthy. So, I bring to you the WCW Trios Champions Minoru Suzuki, Masahiro Chono, and Big Daddy V. The WCW United States Heavyweight Champion Raven, and the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. These are the Paul Heyman guys. As draped in gold, the Paul Heyman guys make their way to the ring. Justin, we've got our War Games match to end the night. Who do you got?
I'm going strictly off of traditional old school wrestling theory, Chad. When you have a pay-per-view, you want to send the fans home happy, Chad. You want to send them home happy. So, looking back at the women's War Games match, you saw the heels, Team Trish and Debbie Malenko, win. So I'm going to go with Team Faces. I'm not going to go with the Paul Heyman guys, even though they are the Trios champion and the United States champion and the World Heavyweight champion of RVD. I'm going to go with the Faces of Ray, Abyss, Finley, Mick, and Shawn Michaels. I'm going Team Face.
Well, that is very interesting. This match was a violent display. I'll tell you what, something that is to be said, all of these individuals had tricks up their sleeves. The Paul Heyman guys, they came in, they all came in with their belts like on, right? And when they get into the ring, they take their belts off and all clunk the other 5 in the head, and they all start beating them down. Like, this got off to a hot start. Fit Finley rolls under the ring, and you learn that he snuck a shillelagh in while they were setting up, and he was clubbing people with a shillelagh. Shawn Michaels had his thumbtack boots on, where he super kicked Masahiro Chono in the head. This was a wild match. Rey Mysterio hit a 619 onto Rob Van Dam with a steel chair in front of him, so he hit the steel chair into his head during the 619. Almost got the 3 there if it wasn't broken up by Raven in the nick of time. They were fighting all over the place. The Monster Abyss, this man, he has wrestled Monsters Balls matches. He's wrestled hardcore matches. This man is no stranger to violence. And this was even more so, as he had his bag of thumbtacks that he scattered onto the ring floor, and put a black hole slam. And then he also had himself get put through it. Justin, all these people went back and forth. Mick Foley, of course, you talk about hardcore matches. I mean, Mick Foley had the same careless risk-taking philosophy that he's had in all of his matches. He had some rough spots. At the end of the day, the match ended when the Monster Abyss hit a black hole slam on Big Daddy V. 1, 2, 3.
And the good guys win. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. A big win for Team Rey Mysterio, Fit Finley, Abyss. Yeah. I mean, what did you? I mean, look, I just put my head to the paper and I said, what's going to happen? Are all the champions going to win? No, that make too much sense. No, the good guys got to come out victorious here at War Games to end the night. A big win for Abyss to get the final pin.
He's the number 1 contender.
He is the number 1 contender. He is the number 1. Abyss RVD. Interesting matchup. What are we, DNA?
And once again, one of the things too that have been going on through this narrative, Rob Van Dam actually got offended when asked this question. Rob Van Dam has never beaten the Monster Abyss.
Well, they probably have never wrestled.
They have wrestled 3 times.
Abyss is 3-0 over RVD.
Yeah, he's 3-0 against Rob Van Dam.
Oh, the winners stand tall to end the show in 85.
Yes, that's okay. Listen, that's fine. A fun pay-per-view.
Yeah, a fun pay-per-view for sure. War Games never does well. That's why it's never main evented, so I'm glad you actually ran with it for the first time.
Yep.
Fall Brawl is basically your Royal Rumble.
I was gonna have two. I had two. You have to bookend it, right? I mean,
yeah, you also didn't have a world title match to run with today. So, what was it gonna be? Goldberg, James Gibson main eventing?
right? Yeah, this had to be the main event. I mean, maybe the tag team title match, but
if Lash LaRue main evented a pay-per-view, I would have ended the series. I'm letting you know now.
No, you can't have all those guys in it and it not main event.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll see everyone for episode 10. Let us know which episode or what pay-per-view you liked more. What superstar you liked the most. Who gives you the more who do you think's more cuter, me or Chad? And let us know in the comments down below. We're on the road to Starrcade, Chad. We're 3 months away.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what the fuck's gonna happen at Starrcade. That's a Abyss RVD.
Maybe. Who knows?
Who's winning the playoffs? I don't know. Is Daphne gonna be the #1 seed? We're gonna find out on Nitro. We'll see you there for Halloween Havoc and oh god, I don't even know my October pay-per-view. Fucking Christ. I'm a sham. I'm not winning Company of the Year anymore. I'm a fraud. We'll see you there. Fuck Cody Rhodes.